So anyway, don't believe it.
Don't trust
Don't
Mike
believe
Votaw.
Mike. He's a liar. Let's start the show, Aaron.
All right, welcome everybody to One Stage at a Time, the podcast where we play through video games every single stage on the quest to discover what is a good game.
What is a good game?
What is it? Is it Donkey Kong Country? Let's find
Is
out.
it?
Because that's what we're playing today. And we played through the level Oil Barrel Alley.
Oil Drum Alley.
Oil Drum Alley.
Yeah.
Pardon.
You were close.
Sorry. I'm sorry. I'm Aaron Neeson, joined as always by my co-host.
Andy Prim.
And we are joined again by the, how to describe you, lovely, talented Kate Votaw.
Hello, thanks for having me back.
Thank you for coming back. After we subjugated you to an hour-long discussion about Sonic the Hedgehog last episode, she deigns to return.
Stuck around.
Yeah.
So there's not going to be any Sonic the Hedgehog in this episode, but there
He
will
is
be.
persona non grata from here on out.
He's dead to me. I don't want to see him again. But we will be talking about Oil Drum Alley, the first stage of the fifth world.
Yes.
Kremlings Industries Incorporated.
Yes. Now, the thing I like about Sonic the Hedgehog 2 is that it introduces Tails.
Yep, that's true.
So, Oil Drum Alley. What did we think about Oil Drum Alley? Andy, what did you think about Oil Drum Alley?
I love this stage.
You love
Yeah,
it.
this is one of the quintessential DKC stages for me. One of the first ones I think of when I think about this game. I really like, first of all, the aesthetic. I think the factory, first new tile set, the factory tile set, really nice to look at.
Mm-hmm.
There's not a lot of background scrolling. I think there's just one background layer, but we got a nice foreground layer.
Yes.
There's like chains and other pipes and things.
Tricky.
Uh-huh.
It is kind of
Yeah.
tricky,
A
yeah.
little frustrating at points.
And an absolute banger of a track by David Wise. Fear Factory is the name of this track.
Oh.
One of my favorites in this whole game.
Yeah.
So good. Kate, what did you think of Oil Drum Alley?
That was not my reaction. I would not say one of my faves. It was fine. It was challenging. No, I prefer the stages that are a little bit not more fun like the gameplay, but like more colorful or a little bit more themed.
Yeah.
Where this is kind of drab.
Sure.
It's fine.
It's industrial.
It's industrial. It feels very like the man
Yeah.
of
Oh, yeah.
Donkey Kong. So
It's a metaphor for capitalism.
Yes, I think so. I enjoyed the playthrough, but I would not say it's my favorite land or aesthetic.
It's hard to love a level that's as like monochrome and when you've been used to these like vibrant alive levels, you're all of a sudden indoors and chains and darkness everywhere. It's easy to feel bogged down.
Yeah, it's kind of brutal, kind of aggressive.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Flaming oil barrels everywhere. Tricky flaming oil barrels everywhere. They'll fake you out.
Yeah, the timing on how the flames come out changes.
So is this what to expect for this whole land, this whole map?
So we're going to see, I think, one more stage with this tile set.
Yes.
The whole stage is kind of industrial themed,
Yeah.
but this tile set only gets used twice,
Okay.
I think. So, but we're going to see some caves, some other stuff. It's going to get interesting.
Okay.
So caves are probably the tile set that's used most.
They get used a lot. That
Yeah.
and the mines and the jungle tile set.
Does the jungle tile set get used a lot still?
4 times, I think,
Okay.
on the jungle, which is a lot for this.
Yeah, for this game it is because
There's a lot of tile sets.
Yeah, but there's some only get used once.
Yeah.
That ice crystal one.
Yeah. Slip slide ride.
Now you're talking.
Yeah.
That's my aesthetic.
That was
Yeah.
a very
Crystals.
gorgeous level.
Yes,
Gorgeous
yes.
level.
Yeah, that's a great level.
Yeah.
Man, I miss it. Let's go back and play that.
Let's go play that next because here we are in like metal gratings and pipes and
Awesome.
wouldn't surprised to see a xenomorph leap out at you and rip your face off.
Well,
From Animorphs?
No, it's the alien.
Oh, okay.
what if the Animorphs acquired the Xenomorph as one of their
Whoa.
What are the big bads in the Animorphs called? I don't remember.
They're called the Yeerks.
Yeerks.
They are
They
aliens,
slime
right?
into your ear?
That's right. They slime into your ear.
Naughty.
Baddie. The Animorphs are weird.
Yeah, that's a weird series.
Yeah,
I was really into it.
Kids books, but they had some very dark adult moments in there. Yeah.
People die.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah. Like, so I remember.
Way worse than that.
They do killings.
Hawked forever.
Yeah.
Right?
They get trapped. Yeah, Tobias gets trapped as a hawk forever. Yeah. Later, he gets a magical ability to be a human again, though.
Yeah. And then there's like
that's not so bad.
Yeah.
green centaur people and purple
the
centaur
Andalites.
people. Refresh me, Andy.
Yeah, four-legged, no-mouth telepaths.
Yes.
Yeah.
But they're not the bad guys.
No, but the main big bad guy was an Andalite who was taken over by a Yeerk.
Yes, this all sounds right.
So he can transform, and they have blade tails as well.
Yes.
So there's some tough customers.
Oh man, it's all coming back. 7th grade art class. It's just like I'm back there.
So we're changing formats. This is now the Animorphs podcast.
Welcome to One Morph at a Time.
Animorphs 1 minute at a time.
Andy just reminds us of, weirdness long repressed. What's boring, Andy?
Let me just unpack all of my mental illness on this podcast. Okay. Oil Drum Alley.
Oil Drum Alley.
Like I said, this stage stands out to me a lot. It's a really difficult stage for sure, but I always really loved the track on this one. And I just thought it was a fun stage to play even back then. There's a couple other reasons why it stands out. One is that this stage has one of the most strange and obtuse secrets in this or any game. There's 3 normal bonus stages in this level, but one of them, the second bonus stage, has a bonus stage within a bonus stage. It's like an Inception situation. You have to, it's a roulette or like a slot machine thing. You have to get 3 single bananas on the slots, which why would you know to do that?
You'd never go for the bananas.
Yeah.
No. Only a fool.
And then the only hint is that there's yellow arrow signs in Oil Drum Alley, like pointing to the left or right. And then in that bonus stage, there's one pointing at the rightmost wall in the stage, which is an incredibly subtle clue that you're supposed to break that wall.
Yeah.
I knew about this from reading a guide when I was a kid. Sorry, I have to take my hat off because it's like choking my brain. This thing is so tight.
Maybe it's a yurt.
Maybe it's a Yeerk. Yeah, maybe. So anyway, in this bonus stage, you're supposed to get 3 single bananas, which doesn't give you a single banana, but instead a barrel, which you then use to break the wall on the right and enter the bonus stage within a bonus stage. Would either of you have had any inkling that was there?
No, not one. I didn't even see the sign, the little arrow. I didn't even notice it.
Yeah, especially since it seemed like it glitched or whatever. It didn't even work.
Yeah, when you got it, it did not work.
And then I would describe it in a way as like a secret level within a secret level. But then that secret hidden room is like 3 more secrets, right?
Yeah.
Because you got to do Donkey, Kong, Country, which I'll point out, it's a good thing that it was blinking, or else I
might have misspelled country.
You may have misspelled country. You were going for that we heard it.
No.
He was making a joke.
So
anyway, so that also feels like a surprise. Like it keeps giving.
Yeah, it's the gift that keeps on giving. It's a really unique bonus stage because, like you said, you spell donkey with the golden letters, then Kong, then country, and you first get a red balloon, then a green balloon, and then a blue balloon for a total of 6 extra lives. So it's a pretty bountiful bonus stage. We saw one kind of like that before, Aaron. If you remember in Orangutan Gang, there was the bonus stage where you had 4 golden letter things in a row where you spelled the names of all our animal friends.
And then... No, wasn't one of them you spell Nintendo?
There is one where you spell Nintendo.
Okay, that was a different one, though.
That was a different one.
Okay.
There's also one where you spell rare.
Okay.
Yeah.
So what do you think is the more obscure secret? This one? Or the one where you need to get Express of the Ostrich and jump over half the map and then go underneath the map and jump over backwards the other way, and it's a nightmare.
Which is how we found the bonus stage I was just describing.
Yeah. So which one do you think is more obscure or harder to get?
I think this one because finding that one with Espresso is obtuse, but it follows the normal rules of this video game. Whereas finding this bonus area is just no one would ever know that unless they already knew about it. I don't see how anyone could find this without a guide. It's so obtuse.
I mean, I guess if...
I think once you've got the barrel...
Yeah, I think like if...
Because
I mean, like you accidentally get a banana, so you're like, okay, well, I guess I'll go for bananas now.
But it would be an accident.
Yes, it would be an accident.
Who would go for a banana?
Who would do that?
Never.
Aaron hates potassium.
I do.
But you
would kill you.
You would be able to tell on the map screen that you didn't have all the bonus areas.
Sure.
Because you wouldn't have the exclamation point. But still, finding that one there is just pretty wild.
Yeah.
I remember when I was a kid, I had a guide to this game, and the guide explained how to get it. But the guide also said that you only have one chance to get this bonus area. And if you miss it or mess it up, then you can never get it again. So I was always really paranoid when I got to this point. I was like, I have to get it. I can't mess this up or else the game's going to lock me out of it.
There's so much pressure for little baby Andy.
This, like I said,
take a break. Read an Animorphs book.
We're unpacking all of my mental illness on this podcast. But anyway, that's not true. But
the dirty liars.
You see this on the internet a lot today even. People will, like in guides on GameFAQs or whatever, say you only get one chance at this.
Yeah.
Absolutely not true. I've tested it. You can finish the stage, go back, try again. It doesn't matter. That's what we did here. Yeah, that's what we did here.
That's bad, but that's not as bad as... Have you seen like the screenshots of the Pokemon guide?
Yeah.
Where Professor Oak is telling you about the Master Ball. And he's like, this is a guaranteed catch, so make sure you use it on a really powerful Pokemon that's hard to catch. Like a Fearow, which is a basic... worthless Pokemon. And, like, you want to use it on your Mewtwo's or one of your legendary birds. That's funny.
Do you remember all the like the urban legends about like using the one like TM strength to move the truck
and Mew is hiding under there.
Yeah. You have to like reset your game in a specific way to I remember even doing that, and no, it did.
I caught Missing No once.
I caught Missing No.
Yeah, but then destroys your game after a little while. Do you know about Missing No or anything?
No, I don't. This is all lost on me. Are you physically manipulating your game to do this?
No, you're doing it in the game.
Oh, in the game. Okay.
You're doing it in the game. Like you can like just exploit glitches in the code. Like people figured out that if you do this and this and this at certain points, then you can catch this Pokemon. And then if you catch this like this glitch Pokemon, it's just a glitch. And if you have this Pokemon and you put it in like a certain slot, then it can allow you to duplicate items in your inventory and have unlimited Master Balls or whatever. And
is this
but then
before the internet?
No, this was early days of the internet.
Yes, it was like 95.
So you would find a lot of these conspiracy theories and urban legends on the internet. People would like doctor screenshots from the game, be like, look what I found.
Original fake news.
Yeah, it was. Yeah.
Because lots of people were saying you could catch Mew if you use strength on this truck that's parked on this little island that's like not really accessible. But
you wouldn't have strength at that point, so you had to get strength later and do a weird like reset or like die on purpose glitch to send you back to before that, so then you could use it.
And it didn't work anyways.
Yeah.
Mew was in the code though.
Yeah.
Because later on, Pokemon, like Nintendo started having events with Pokemon, and you could bring your Pokemon cartridge in there, and they would put Mew on there. Like basically just activate the code and have you have Mew all of a sudden. And so it's in there. And this is why people were like, where's Mew?
Did you know it's still kind of sort of possible to bring Pokemon from that game to Pokemon Sword and Shield?
Yeah, if you trade like between generations and games and stuff.
Well, the only way to do it is if you have the downloaded Virtual Console versions of Red and Blue. Original cartridge ones, you can't get it that far anymore.
You don't think? No?
According to what I've read online.
I mean, that would make sense.
I haven't done it personally.
Yeah.
If we've settled anything, is that you can't trust what people put online.
It's true. It's true. Yeah. You can't trust this podcast either. So, take that as a lesson.
Never trust anyone, especially us. Where were we? Oh yeah, Oil Drum Alley.
Yes, and secrets.
This absurdly secret bonus area. We found it because we read a guide, and so we got the exclamation point now. But Donkey Kong Country is a game that tracks your percentage, and it's one of the first games to let the percentage go above 100. You can actually get 101% completion in this game.
I still hate that.
I love it.
It's a thing now.
That's a
Every
pretty big
game does it
motivator
now.
for me. I'm pretty extrinsically motivated by that. That's a gold star situation.
I'm no completionist. I never have been, never will be. But no, it just bugs me. Like the 100% plus bugs me. It still bugs me.
Yeah. Go ahead, Kate.
Just a clarification question. Is it 100%? Do you have to get all of the bananas? All of the how do you get this percentage?
The only thing it tracks is bonus areas.
Okay.
So stage completion and bonus areas is the only things you got to do. I always interpret it as this super secret bonus area being that extra 1%. Mm-hmm. I don't think it's really coded that way, but yes. So that it's just bonus areas. Okay. In the later games, there's more collectibles, but in this one, that's all there is.
Mm-hmm. Don't track letters or nothing.
Okay. Nope. Kong letters don't count. That's just for funsies and extra lives. In Donkey Kong Country Tropical Freeze, I think you can get as much as 205%, something insane like that. Yeah, it's wild.
Huge eye roll.
Yeah, you have to beat every stage on hard difficulty. It gets to the point where it's not fun anymore.
Yeah.
Okay, folks. Before we move on to our next segment, do y'all have anything else you want to add about Oil Drum Alley?
Mankey's back.
Mankey, yes.
I love Mankey Kong. I'm rooting for you, brother.
Yes, solidarity forever. The union makes us strong.
Yes. He was staging a worker takeover of that factory. Donkey Kong came to break up the strike.
Donkey Kong's working for the Pinkertons.
He is. He comes in with his tie like, you think you're gonna go, you get 10 minutes for lunch.
Yeah. We're proud to see Mankey return, our favorite class trader.
When was the last time we saw him?
Not too long ago. Just a few levels.
Maybe 4 or 5 levels ago.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But I just always get excited when he's around.
Yeah. He's pretty tricky.
He's my boy. He's smart. That's why he's so tricky, because he's always thinking. And he's
that gif of the guy tapping his forehead.
Yeah. Throwing barrels.
That's right.
Formidable foe.
Formidable.
Okay. Well, on that note, let's go to the lore corner.
Yes. Ooh. I love the lore corner.
Jack for us.
Okay, so in today's lore corner, I thought we could talk more about the topic of factories and Donkey Kong's relation thereto. So Donkey Kong has long had an association with factories, ever since his very first appearance, in fact.
Yeah.
In the original Donkey Kong arcade game from 1981, Donkey Kong in level 2, they're in Donkey Kong and Mario battle in a cement factory, also known as a pie factory.
Is that really what it is?
It's canonically a cement factory, but most people call it a pie factory because the little cement, I guess they're little bowls or tin or pans of cement or something. They look like pies.
Yeah.
We always called it a pie factory. Yeah. But
is this? Hang on. So is this the one where he's up atop and then the things are going boing 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 boing?
No, that's
3.
That's 3. They call that elevator because there's the elevators that go up and down. 2 is where conveyor belts with the pies going back and forth.
Oh, okay, gotcha.
Now, many people may not have played that level because it was deleted from the NES release of this game.
Yeah.
Because remember, NES first run game packs were very, very small. Not lots of memory space at all. And Donkey Kong was a launch game for the NES. Now, later, NES games got pretty large to be able to accommodate games like Kirby's Adventure, which are pretty humongous compared to those early game packs. So anyway, so small they had to cut one of the 4 levels of Donkey Kong. Let that sink in. But they did add a song for that release, which wasn't in the original arcade game, which is do-do-do.
Which is that the one jingle? In this game.
Yeah, it's in this game. So anyway, little tidbit there. But the factory level is an important locale in that original arcade game. But let me just give you a rundown here on some of the other factory appearances in the Donkey Kong canon. We've got this game, Kremlings Industries Incorporated. Donkey Kong Country 3, the world Mechanos, is almost entirely a factory world.
Okay.
Donkey Kong 64, we've got Frantic Factory, which is either the third or fourth world of that game.
It's a very Donkey Kong name.
They love the alliteration.
They love alliteration.
Then that was the last one made by Rare, but we've got more. Donkey Kong Jungle Climber for the Nintendo DS.
Okay.
Has Panic Factory. Donkey Kong Country Returns. Donkey Kong Country Returns has a whole factory world, which is just called Factory. And every stage in that world is a factory, like level. Donkey Kong Country Tropical Freeze has Fruity Factory, as well as Frozen Factory, where you return to the location from the first game, except it's been frozen now.
Okay.
And then in the Mario vs. Donkey Kong series, basically all of those games have a factory world.
Okay.
So factories are a big, big part of the Donkey Kong lore.
Yeah, it's a very strange thing to have associated with a gorilla.
Yeah.
You know, that banana business, it's not going to run itself.
Yeah. I mean, we know they're capitalists.
We know they're capitalists.
We know they're capitalist pig dogs.
But here's the question. This world is called Kremling Industries Incorporated, which would imply that the Kremlings are the owners.
Yes.
So I suspect how you're going to answer this, but let me ask you, how does this fit into your theory that the Kongs are the capitalists and the Kremlings are like the socialist workers?
Well, it's a worker takeover, and now it's owned by the Kremlings.
Okay.
It's owned by them, not by the Kongs, and he's there to take it back.
So the workers have risen up.
Yeah.
Donkey Kong has like seized control of the means of production.
or it was always theirs because they live on the island. They live in those trees, and then they go to work. They go to work and they work. They do an honest day's work for an honest day's pay, and they get at least $15 an hour.
They have worker ownership.
That's right. So
they've seats on the board.
Yeah, that's right. So and Donkey Kong, that's unacceptable to him. So he's in there to bust it up.
It is unacceptable that the 1% of the Kong clan controls all the factories on DK Isle.
That's right, Bernie K. Rule.
Yeah, I think he's definitely the Disney, the Amazon. In this case, he's trying to buy it up and monopoly, right?
Yeah, that's right. He wants to own all. He wants to own all of it. Yep. It's not enough to have all the bananas. He must have the means of bananas too.
Yes, yeah. To what end, Donkey? To what end?
Yeah, you can't take it with you.
Right.
It's like, you got to ask yourself, at a certain point, Bill Gates made that pledge that he was going to give away all of his money. That was 10 years ago or something. He has more money now than he did at the time he made that pledge.
Yep. Yeah.
Yeah. But folks,
billionaires are immoral.
You know what? We don't like to get too political on this podcast, but today happens to be the day we're recording this is the day of the Nevada caucuses. Bernie has won the Nevada caucuses, and let me just say, let's go get that bread. Okay, back to Donkey Kong.
If you jinxed us, I swear to God.
Ask the box. Ask the
cube. Magic question mark block? No, we don't want to dabble in chaos magic.
You already are.
Open this box, Andy.
Pandora's box.
Okay.
What's your take on it, though? What's your take on who owns this factory? What's it doing here? What's it been making?
So here's some interesting tidbits. The original DK has the red girders, right? Mm-hmm. Red girders have become kind of symbolic for the Mario franchise, and especially Donkey Kong. In Donkey Kong Country Returns, the factory world, which, as we've established, is creatively titled Factory,
yep,
is all red girders. So they're adopting the red girder motif. It's a nice callback. And then this world, Kremling Industries Incorporated, this is on DK Isle. Donkey Kong Country Returns also takes place on DK Isle. So presumably it's the same factory, right? So this isn't explicitly stated, and the aesthetic looks a little bit different, but presumably it's the same factory. So I guess we're returning again to the dilapidated Kremling Industries Incorporated.
Okay.
But in that game, they're run by an evil chicken.
Is Bluster Kong buried in the in the cement foundation?
Well, Bluster Kong is, of course, part of the non-canonical French-Canadian Donkey Kong Country.
Who decides the
show.
canon? It's part of it's the cartoon. In the cartoon, there's this character Bluster Kong who owns a factory or something, right?
Yeah. He owns the barrel factory.
The barrel factory. Yeah.
It might sound like we're pulling your leg, Kate.
We're
but
not.
This is, as always, 100% true and should not be questioned.
I understand.
Your husband told us that he tried to watch some of it, and then like his eyes started bleeding or something. And
I watched about 7 or 8 episodes of it in a row one day to kind of prepare, and I went a little bit crazy by the end. I kept saying banana slamma.
You were saying it for a while there, like pretty regularly.
Yeah, I don't recommend watching that show for any length of time. Maybe
Don't.
one episode. Watch Donkey's video on it. It's pretty funny. But if you sit down and actually try to watch that thing, you're gonna experience some lasting problems.
There's like songs in every episode too, right?
Yeah,
There's
every
at least
episode has a musical
song.
number.
Delightful.
Yeah, we'll watch one. We'll watch a little bit after this episode and
I'll show it to your 3-year-old.
expose you to it,
Yeah.
like your eyes. No, like even the animation is just garbage.
Is
It's
it
not good.
2D,
It's a 3D
Early computer
cartoon
graphics.
in the 90s,
Yeah,
Reboot?
think of Pixar,
but
movies.
worse. Yeah.
It's like a Pixar
It's just
movie.
like Pixar.
Yeah,
Sorry, holds up. Just saying.
at the time there was a lot of French Canadian computer graphic shows, and this was one of them. Kind of riding the wave. There was kind of a mania for CG cartoons in the late '90s.
What else are we talking here? What would I know?
Reboot,
Yeah,
Beast Machine or Beast
Wars and
Beast.
Beast Machines.
Yeah. What were some of the other ones?
Oh, man, I don't know.
Code Lyoko. That was a little bit later, I
I
guess.
don't even know that
It was
one.
a French show, but they brought it to America on Toonami or something like that. What were some other ones?
I don't know too
I'm
many
sure there
more,
were more.
really. Yeah, I'm sure there were more also, but
Yeah,
those were the big ones.
those were the big ones. Yeah, Reboot's the one I remember the most.
Yeah, I remember.
Yeah, I watched a lot of Reboot and I rewatched Reboot in college. Like illegally
Yes.
downloaded all of it.
Yeah.
It's really weird.
It was on YouTube back when YouTube.
Yeah, that was it. Yes.
Back in like 2004, when like there were no rules on YouTube,
Yeah.
and everyone just uploaded every episode of every show.
Those reboot.
It was amongst them, yeah, and
Yeah,
like
yeah.
it was great. Like it starts off like very like formulaic. Like every episode, a game comes down, they have to play the game, and then the bad guys try and do some scheme. But then like at the end of the first season, the hero gets ejected from the game and like sent out into the internet, and like so then everybody else the next season has to go and try and find him. And the little kid character, like he gets also lost in the internet somewhere.
He loses a game.
Yeah. Oh, is that
Yeah,
it?
he loses a game and gets taken to like the web.
Yeah.
Ralph breaks the internet.
Well, he gets taken to the web, and he's this little kid with like a backwards hat, like, hey, and he comes back, an adult man,
Like
quote unquote
Narnia or
man,
something?
but he's got like a beard and an eye patch, and he's like, call me Matrix.
He's
Yeah.
like, he's like Kyle Reese from the Terminator.
Yeah.
Dun, 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 dun.
Yeah.
Dun, 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 dun,
When the season before, he was this little plucky kid named, what was his name? I can't remember his name. Enzo. He's named Enzo, and he had a dog, and like, hey. And-
Help out there.
oh man, it is wild. And they like go searching for the hero's name was Bob, so they go on this pirate
Bob?
ship into the Bob.
Yeah. They're all references to programming things.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But it was a wild show. It was a wild show. Only
Like 3 sort of,
Maybe
because
3.
they ran a couple on TV and then it got canceled, and then they managed to get funding to make like some movies, and each movie was split into a few parts that could be episodic. And then but they before they got to make the final one, they ran out of funding again, and so it's famously unfinished show.
But there is a sequel.
There's a sequel
On Netflix?
On Netflix.
I haven't watched it. I don't want to watch it.
So it's half live action.
A reboot.
Well, listen, Andy. Listen.
So it's half live action. It's about people like in the real world that go into the game, and then it's half live action, half CG. And apparently, I haven't seen this thing, but apparently Bob shows up.
Does he?
Well, and Megabyte shows up as well. But you know what? It's not going to be the same because Megabyte was, of course, voiced by Tony J. Rest in peace. And you can't duplicate that voice. It's too good.
No, but they weren't in any of the previews, and I didn't want to look it up because I was just I don't know. I'm just like, I'm not having it. I wasn't having it.
yeah.
So I didn't even look it up. But like, do they look the same? Like, do they have crummy animation still? Like, that would be amazing.
You know what? I don't really know.
We'll have to look it up later.
I don't think it's
we don't need. Yeah, and it's probably not worth our time, but we'll have to look it up after this episode if we're done recording. But yeah.
Okay, so but it sounds like our consensus here is that the Kongs are running these factories. And
Probably.
any instances where we see Kremlings in charge of factories is because they have risen up and seized the means of production.
Yes.
It's the jungle.
It's the jungle. A Kremling fell in a meat grinder and no one did anything.
I think it all happened at the same time. I think that the citizens of Kongo Island revolted against the Kongs. They took the factories. They took the banana horde, and they said no more. And Donkey Kong said, "Oh no."
Resistance.
Yeah.
Donkey Kong is Mike Bloomberg.
Oh God. Listen, just a few very innocent NDAs. Don't worry about it. Yes, the women have to still abide by them, but don't worry about it.
Look, a few Kremlings were, I guess, upset by some jokes that I made.
Oh, no.
So we entered into these agreements.
And I will not release them from them. It's best for everyone involved.
Especially the Kremlin.
Yeah, especially those Kremlings that I upset.
Well, you know what? Solidarity forever. That's what I'm saying.
Yeah.
King K. Rule. Bernie K. Rule.
Bernie K. Rule.
It's going to lead us to a new age.
Yeah.
Okay. Well, so Donkey Kong, as we've said, has a long association with factories, and you know why. And probably he will continue to do so in the future.
I can't wait to find out.
But that's going to do it for this edition of Lore Corner.
Oh, bye, Lore Corner. I love the Lore Corner.
Oh, we'll be
it's
back.
So wacky.
We'll be back.
It's so wacky
So
and fun.
much more.
There's so
more
much.
than
For
anyone would
Donkey Kong
ever
Country.
expect.
More than anyone would ever expect or need.
Yeah.
I mean, you got to fill the novelizations with something.
That's true. Michael Teitelbaum, you're doing the Lord's work out there, buddy.
The Lord.
I still want to. I found the book online, so like it's there to be read like whenever we want. But like I just know he left out so much. Like he left out entire monkey minds, and
He left Winky out.
Yeah, he left Winky out. Like I like you, Michael Teitelbaum. You're my boy, but I'm a little upset with him. Just saying, I'm a little upset.
You're on the beef list right now, Michael. Come on the pod, we'll squash the beef, but for now, you're on the beef list.
If you are real, I can only find that one picture of you.
Which, I mean, may or may not be a fake picture.
Yeah, we don't know. He doesn't have a Twitter. He doesn't have he's got nothing.
Yeah.
He just
It's
writes.
Is he still
like,
publishing? Still?
Yeah.
Like a Paw Patrol? You said?
yeah, he works.
He also does original stuff too. Like I found he's got a Hungry Caterpillar parody called The Very Hungry Zombie. It came out a few years ago. Can
you imagine being Michael Teitelbaum and like trying to like get your own work published after having to do all this license stuff for so long? It's just like, please God, let me take these shackles off.
It's like
haven't I atoned enough?
He'd be like the Baby Driver. Like he's trying to get out, and Kevin Spacey's like, no, you work for me, or I'll kill your family.
And then at the very end, he's just like, whatever, I'm good now.
Yeah, I hated that twist. Like, what you were just threatening him, like his life and his family and everyone that he cares about, and now you're willing to die for him? Nah, it's dumb. The movie on the whole was good, but that part was really dumb.
Dumb parts. Overall, good.
Overall good. Dumb parts.
Yep.
Yeah. Although, like, this might be a little too dark for this podcast, but like knowing what Kevin Spacey is actually like blackmailing a young man into doing things that he doesn't want to do, and then at the end being like, I love you.
He was really telling on himself with that one. A real cell phone, you might say.
Man.
He really posted cringe that time.
Yeeks. Do we have anything else on that note? Should we end it on that
I think that's a good note to wrap up on.
Please come back back and keep listening.
Yes. Please come back. Please, we're begging you.
Or don't. I don't care. Well, thank you for discussing this episode with me, both of you. This was a lot of fun. It was a difficult episode, difficult level. And what's up next, Andy?
Next up, we will be continuing along through Crack Industries Incorporated to Stage 2, Trick, Track, Trek.
Oh,
and that's a fun one to say.
Just the title has gotten me a little intimidated.
Yeah. Kate, you'll stick around for the next one?
I'll be there.
Amazing. Right. Well, look forward to that very soon, folks. Until then, send us an email, follow us on Twitter, let us know what you think about the program. We would love to hear from you. And we'll be back in your podcast feeds very soon.
OneStageAtAtime.com for all of our things. And we'll see you next time. Kate, would you do us the honor of giving that sign off?
Now it's your turn to please save and continue.